Tonight, the images from inside Iran, widespread demonstrations across the country after news broke the supreme leader was killed, along with more than 40 of Iran's leaders. Protesters shouting "Death to America," while others in Iran are now quietly celebrating, sharing their hope for a new future. Here's Martha Raddatz tonight.
The deadly strikes in Iran prompted immediate celebrations in the streets and in the privacy of Iranian homes. But today, tens of thousands of tearful mourners gathered in Tehran's main square, pounding their chests, waving flags, and throughout the country, many shouting "Death to America." This man called the attacks on the regime shocking news that really fills one with anger, full of hatred towards Israel and America. We must avenge the blood of the leader. The Iranian foreign minister today insisting to ABC News that the deaths of military leaders will make little difference to Iran's military capabilities.
This is exactly what happened last time. They killed some of our top commanders, but they were replaced very soon, and in less than 12 hours, we were able to start retaliation.
No matter what the foreign minister says, taking out 40 of the top leadership means that most of the units in the field are operating independently and without centralized direction.
For decades, the threat of a nuclear-armed Iran has loomed over the Middle East. After years of stop-start negotiations, sanctions, and even attempts to sabotage Iran's nuclear program, a diplomatic breakthrough finally came in 2015.
A comprehensive long-term deal with Iran that will prevent it from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
We were there when the deal was announced.
These people are so happy that these punishing sanctions will eventually be lifted.
But the deal drew criticism, and President Trump withdrew the U.S. from the pact in 2018.
We have not been here since Donald Trump was elected and pulled the U.S. out of the nuclear deal, and what a difference we have seen.
Today in Tehran, there is little to celebrate. With the sanctions back in place, the Iranian economy is in dramatic distress. After Trump scrapped the deal, the Iranians ramped up the enrichment of uranium. With the nuclear threat looming large again, the U.S. pounded Iranian nuclear facilities just last summer.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
But the administration said that turned out not to be entirely true, which led to this new wave of strikes. The deadly conflict between the U.S. and Iran is a far cry from the years when Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi enjoyed close ties with America and attempted to build a modern, secular state.
Our relationship with Iran was very cozy, close, on a diplomatic, security level.
But when the Shah was overthrown in the 1979 revolution, Iran suddenly transformed into an Islamic state hostile to the West, headed by Ayatollah Khomeini. During this period of turmoil, Ali Khamenei quickly rose through the leadership ranks in Iran.
Ali Khamenei was very much a product of Iran's religious class. He was a close student and later became a confidant of Ayatollah Khomeini.
Following Ayatollah Khomeini's death in 1989, his one-time protege ascended to the position of supreme leader of Iran.
I don't think anybody would have predicted that he would have ruled the country for so long, and he did so ruthlessly, dividing opposition.
Working closely with Iran's feared Revolutionary Guard, Khamenei ruthlessly crushed any challenges to the regime. He deployed soldiers against his own people in 2025, sparked by the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, arrested for allegedly violating the rules for wearing a head cover.
She was taken into custody and apparently beaten ruthlessly by plainclothes police officers, and ultimately died in hospital. That set off a wave of protest that lasted many months.
The protests were put down. Some 500 people were killed. There were many arrests.
But that crackdown paled in comparison to the one unleashed by Khamenei after the most recent wave of protests launched in December.
People who have been struggling financially for the last 15 years were irate over the government's mismanagement of the national economy. The Islamic Republic wielded such incredible, brutal force, killing an untold number of people. Estimates put it in the high thousands to the mid tens of thousands.
A remarkable scene continuing to unfold in Iran. Martha Raddatz with us here tonight. And Martha, we know the Iranian president survived these attacks, but the regime knew they were a target. The supreme leader certainly knew he was a potential target. So the question is, did the regime plan for this? Do we know anything at all about what the leadership could look like, at least in the near term here?
David, we're not sure whether Israel and the U.S. plan to spare Iran's president, but tonight he is with the Interim Leadership Council. According to Iran's constitution, the council will remain in place until a new leader is chosen by this so-called assembly of experts, and that could happen in a matter of days, although President Trump seems to have other ideas, as he told our Jonathan Karl. David.
Martha, you and I have covered so many of these war zones and conflicts together. I wanted to show our viewers at home this Flight Radar 24 map at this hour. Look at this. These are the commercial flights that are in the skies around the Middle East. You can see over the entirety of Iran there and much of the surrounding region. The flights are staying out of the airspace. Of course, Martha, this is not a surprise, but it does illustrate the real danger.
Exactly, and you have hundreds of thousands of passengers stranded because of this, but it is the safest thing to do. I'll tell you, David, I was on the ground in Tehran in 2020 when Iran accidentally shot down a commercial airliner, a Ukrainian airliner. They were launching missiles into Iraq in retaliation for the U.S. strike on Soleimani, the head of the IRGC, but they accidentally shot down that plane. So safety first here, David.
Martha Raddatz with us here tonight as well. Thank you, Martha.